Hey there, Diane Villano, Chief Motivator here at Fitness St. Pete and Tierra Verde Fitness. And it's here. We're officially headed into one of the most festive, yet busiest and most stressful times of year. So I want to talk to you tonight a little bit about how to overcome two of the biggest obstacles that people face while they're trying to stay on track with fitness goals during the Thanksgiving to New Year's holiday season. This is the time of year when it's hey Laura, how are you? How's the weather in Texas? So this is one of the years when, it's the most fun and festive time of the year and we should be out enjoying it. But at the same time, so many people feel stressed and tired and so overwhelmed by everything that they just say, why bother? I'll just start back in January. So instead of being able to enjoy this time of year, which is my personal favorite, so many people drudge through it feeling tired and bloated and stressed and cranky instead of rested, energized, and able to really enjoy all the food, the friends, the fun, and the things they don't necessarily get to do during the rest of the year. But I'm telling you, it does not have to be this way because the biggest problems people face all have solutions. And here's the thing, know in advance that these are trouble areas is half the battle because you can be on guard, you can have a plan, and you can develop solutions to build defenses in advance. So today I want to cover social pressure and environment. There is food everywhere. So what I did was I've over the years always, polled clients and have had, people of course email or talk about certain specific issues. So I'm going to cover some of the top 5. So if I'm looking, I'm actually reading the questions here. So here's the number one question that we get in this area or challenge is there's food everywhere at work. So here's what we tell our clients. Take control of your workspace. So while you can't really control what's on other people's desks or what's in the lunchroom, you can control what's on your immediate desk. And realistically, you can avoid the lunchrooms. You have absolute control over what's in your immediate environment because here's the thing. Food in reach is in plain sight and is a trigger and will get eaten. But food maybe in your eyesight but not in your reach is going to get eaten but not as much. And that is going to save you a ton of calories right there. Here's another thing. A couple normal tips which will apply to a lot of situations in this. So drop a comment, hit the like button. How do you usually do during the holidays? Do you manage the challenges well? Are you that person that goes all the way off and gets so stressed out and overwhelmed, you just say, well, I'm going to wait until next year and start my New Year's resolution? I want to hear how you guys are doing with this. Hey, Cindy. So here's another tip is don't go into work hungry. Make sure you start that day with a good high protein quality breakfast. That'll get you through much better than going into work starving or thinking you're going to save your calories. Number 3 here is have a good high protein, good quality lunch and some snacks with you. Because that way, if you're offered food or you're offered these things, you can say, no, thank you, I already have some. Or you've already eaten and you've already had your snack, so you can say, no, thank you, I'm not hungry. And yes, that is I say it all the time. People might look at you a little bit weird because let's face it, 66% of Americans are overweight because they eat when they're not hungry. So they're oftentimes not used to hearing, no, thank you, I'm not hungry, because that doesn't even register. But you can do it. I know you can. So here's number 4 is bring your favorite healthier recipe in to share with the office. So if you notice, I didn't say healthy recipe because let's just go with healthier. almost nothing that you're going to make for the holidays is going to be healthy. But you can bring a healthier recipe like the ones I've got 15. If you haven't grabbed my Ultimate Holiday Survival Kit, there's 15 actually of our member favorite healthier holiday desserts that people won't even realize they're not full of saturated fats, bleached sugar. Hey, Miss Marianne, you need this one. We're talking about workplace issues when it comes to food. So yeah, so here's another one that we get a lot from our clients. There are so many holiday parties. So here's the thing, go enjoy them, have a blast. Just plan ahead the rest of your food for the week to accommodate the extra calories, right? So we have our private clients and our group fitness members, we have them look every Sunday, they plan out their week. So they have either where they can do 3 unstructured meals, meaning eat whatever they want, and they eat the rest of the day of whole nutrient-dense foods, or they have 1 day where it's just a free-for-all. So you can do however best meets your needs, your situation, your lifestyle. But so you plan ahead, that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is just like before going to work, have a high quality, high protein snack so that you aren't going in hungry, and then have a plan. So most people, what happens is a lot of people try to save up their calories for the event or their meal or their party or whatever, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to backfire. Don't do it. By planning ahead on Sunday what you're going to do for the week, and then going into that event or that meal meal with a plan, you'll do fine. I promise you. And so here's another thing I hear a lot about, that here's a big one. If someone special makes me a meal or a cookie recipe and I don't eat their food, they feel like they're getting snubbed or they even get offended. That's a really common one. So here's the thing. If you really don't want the food, just say, no, thank you. I'm not hungry. Because here's the thing. Every time you let people dictate what you eat or you're going to eat because you're afraid of hurting their feelings, you weaken the boundaries. If you say, no, thank you, I'm not hungry, and they persist, really, they should be worried about hurting your feelings, right? I mean, it's all in how you look at it. So if you really want it, here's the thing. Somebody made your absolute favorite cookie or brownie. Like this weekend, I had somebody make me my favorite Chambord cheesecake with chocolate chips. So if you really want it, have it. As long as you don't go in surplus for the week, you're going to be fine. I promise you, you're not going to gain fat. And that's the thing that most people tend to think of as all or nothing, and it doesn't have to be that way. Realistically, while you may be carrying a couple extra water weight pounds from an overindulgent day or meal, it really all boils down to what you do over the course of a week. So that's why going into the week with a plan and looking at your week on a Sunday is so, so important. So here's another thing that we hear a lot. People bring me food and I get gift baskets. When a gift is food and you refuse it, you look ungrateful. So here's the thing. Yes, that's true. But if you don't want food as gifts, you've got to set the expectations for others in advance. And let it know. Just let it be known you're not the type of person that you can say allergies. You can say really whatever you want, but you're not the type of person who's going to really eat a lot of the holiday foods or decadent gifts. So, I mean, think about it. It's pretty rare that people give me food or alcohol for gifts because they just know that I'm really not going to eat it, because I've got the boundary set well in advance that I live a healthy lifestyle. So it's not something, so I oftentimes get, like gift cards to Whole Foods, things of that nature, an extra pair of workout gloves, that are set in line with the boundaries that I've set and the expectations that people have for what my lifestyle is. So if you're like a lot of people watching this, this may be, you're just starting out creating a healthy lifestyle. And this all may be new, and people around you may not really have grasped the concept that you're changing your lifestyle, you're changing your patterns, and that's okay too. But start now, and I'm changing my habits. I'm creating a healthy lifestyle. It should be your new mantra, because the more you tell it to people, the more they're going to accept it and grasp it. Oh, she's not the person that's going to eat that. We won't even offer it to her. Or they may offer it to be polite, but they're not going to persist. So here's another thing is that was exactly my next thing is donate them. See, Cindy, you've been here long enough. You're already starting to get it. So donate them. You can drop them off. Fire company is actually a really great idea. I never even thought about it. But you can also go, like here in St. Pete, we have tons of homeless shelters. You can drop it off at one of the homeless shelters. You can drop it off at one of the food banks. Or I oftentimes will bring them to CASA. So the women or the kids could have some extra cheer and some extra holiday that they may not get during a really stressful time. Here's another one. My challenge is the holiday food I only see once a year, and I love it. I'm the same way, and you know what? I eat it. But here's the thing. I don't eat it all, and I don't eat it every day, and I eat it in the midst of a whole foods balanced diet. When I say diet, I don't mean diet. I mean diet by the foods that go into my mouth. So here's the thing. Like we coach our clients, and they've told us they've had enormous success with it. When they go into a party or an event or a meal, and say it's only desserts, they will take a golf ball size of all of their favorites and put it on a plate. So they've already had a protein-rich quality snack before they even went to the event, so they're not that hungry. Their blood sugar level's even. And then when they get there, they look around and they fill their plate with a golf ball size of every one of their favorites. Because this way, they're not eating mindlessly. Whereas if you take a big hunk of cake or you're standing by the appetizer buffet, you tend to eat mindlessly, and those calories really will add up. So, I mean, you can even indulge a day or two or even 3. All that matters is really that if you're noticing a common theme, it's plan ahead and look at your week as a whole. Planning ahead is golden. That is going to be your secret to success in these next 5 weeks, and arriving in the New Year's feeling amazing and having energy and not being tired, not being stressed. Planning ahead is key. So here's another thing that I've heard is I find myself saying, let me know if any of you guys have done this in the past or if you're in the middle of doing it now. To heck with it. I'm going to just enjoy the holidays. I'll get back on track with healthy eating and working out in January. So here's the thing. How enjoyable is it when your clothes feel tight, you're exhausted because you've put a bunch of garbage in your body, you're stressed out because you're not eating well, and all of your clothes are feeling tight and you can't find anything to wear? How is that enjoyment? So that's one way to look at it. That's a way to reframe it to your advantage. But here's the other thing I would say, and our clients have been doing it for 23 years without gaining weight, and even some have managed to lose weight depending on where they were, in their journey and who they had around them. But you can absolutely enjoy the holidays, including food, and continue on towards your goals. It's not one thing or the other. You've got to get rid of that black and white, all or nothing thinking. And here's my second tip for that is change your thinking from all or nothing to creating a healthy lifestyle. Because here's the thing, your lifestyle is not something that you only do part of the year. It's how you live every day, and it's a part of your identity. So make that part of your identity, make your new identity I'm creating a healthy lifestyle. I'm in control of the food that goes in my mouth. I can enjoy my favorite foods and still stay on track towards my goals. So here's the last one, and this is a big one, and this is where it can get a little bit sticky. Oh, and speaking of desserts, by the way, there are, like I said, 15 of my favorite and our member favorite dessert recipes included in our Ultimate Holiday Kit. And there's also 8 of our favorite alcoholic beverages. Not my favorite, I don't drink, but there's 8 member favorite alcoholic drinks recipes, alcohol recipes, is that how you'd say it? In our Ultimate Holiday Survival Kit. So you have the best alcoholic drinks for your weight loss goals. But so now here's the last thing, and this is a hard one. My biggest challenge is saboteurs. People in my life intentionally mock me and pressure me into eating or drinking the wrong things, even though I've told them I'm creating a healthy lifestyle. It seems like it's almost like they get satisfaction from seeing me fail. That's a topic for a whole nother subject, and I'm going to have an email that I'm sending out later this week for those of you on our email list. It's titled, Don't Let Them Do This to You, and I talk about all the different types. There's 6 different types of saboteurs, and some do it intentionally because they want a partner in crime, because they don't want to feel guilty about overindulging in foods that aren't necessarily conducive to their goals. So they want someone else to be there with them so they don't feel as bad. But here's the thing, and just in a nutshell, is a little peer pressure is one thing. I get it all the time, all the events I go to, because I don't drink and I tend to be fairly mindful of what I'm eating, and oh, this little bit won't hurt. And most people, when I say, oh no, thank you, I'm not hungry, or I've already eaten all, I usually say I've fulfilled my crap quota for the day. Most people are really understanding about it, but there are going to be some who are toxic, and you really need to evaluate their place in your new healthy lifestyle. So if it's a family member, obviously you can't avoid them, but maybe you can avoid them in certain situations. But the other thing is really focus on making new friends who support you and your new healthy lifestyle and your new goals. That's one of the things that our members have told me, is having our private members only group to be surrounded by like-minded people, or having new friends that they've made through our fitness community has made a huge difference in changing and surrounding themselves with people who are like them and are on the same path and have the same goals. So that one could be a little bit tricky, but generally, no thank you, I'm not hungry, or I've fulfilled my garbage quota for the day, or that will generally work. And if it doesn't work and they're truly toxic, really reevaluate their place in your life, and look at getting into people who are more on the same path than you are. So yeah, so there you go. Hopefully that will get you through social events and environment. Hopefully those tips helped. I know they were the most commonly addressed with our members and our private clients over the last 23 years. So chances are you've had some of those. So if you're watching this on the replay, comment below with replay and let me know which one of these tips. We love you too. Yes, ma'am, we love you too. So comment below with replay and let me know if any of these tips, which ones you're going to try. Let me know if you have any tips that are that you want to share that I didn't address. And definitely be sure Wednesday is the last day to grab our Ultimate Holiday Survival Kit if you haven't yet, because Friday I'm going to be launching, opening up and launching the Healthy Holiday Gift Guide. So you've got 2 more days to grab the Holiday Survival Kit. So yeah, have an amazing night. Thank you so much. I know I was on a lot later than usual. So thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you tomorrow night for more tips on different topics. So bye.